How will COVID-19 change how you mark Remembrance Day?
You know what, thank you for asking that question, because I don't think I've given Remembrance Day enough pause or enough honor in the past, and being a young person, maybe I feel a little bit removed from it. So I'll think about that this year, and I'll think about that this year. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not going to be attending any cenotaphs or anything like that, so it's going to again be a virtual thing. Certainly feel bad for the old soldiers that are still around that, sort of get a lot of comfort out of people showing up in large numbers, and that's just not going to happen this year.
There's not going to be any big congregations anywhere for that. But I think that it's a good time just to reflect on, everything that has happened, and even though we have to be isolated, you can still remember those people with your close family. So, I mean, it might be a little different because I know that sometimes there's ceremonies, places for Remembrance Day, so maybe there won't be that. But there's always, thankfully, the internet and TV where you can see stuff broadcasted.
We've always gone out to one of the cenotaphs for the Remembrance Day ceremony. So this year it's going to be more difficult. We'll probably have to watch something online, which we will probably do. And I think that's harder because it was always good to be out with people, and then to lay your poppy on the cenotaph at the end of the service was always very memorable. And having had family who've served through both World Wars, it's hard not to be out there giving them the honour that is their due. So, but we don't have a choice.
Well, I think in the schools they'll still remember the vets. But I think that the parades and honoring them, because they always have things for them around Remembrance Day, and we can't do that this year.
The ones I really feel sorry for are the veterans, because they're the ones that we go out to celebrate, and they come out, and that's the one time of the year that we can end up showing our appreciations. And unfortunately, those are the ones that are at risk the most right now, or the elderly. And to tell you the truth, I don't want to be going up and shaking a 95-year-old man's hand and feeling fear.
I don't think it'll change much. I will be wearing a poppy, and we'll probably won't have an opportunity to go to any of the vigils, but nonetheless, it won't change anything for me personally.
I think we all should remember, whether there's restrictions or not, that's something that should be remembered no matter what time you live in, what the people did for us before. So I think, you should just celebrate it. Maybe not big gatherings, of course, but still it should be well known that this is the day and people should remember it no matter what.
Well, definitely I will do my part and talk to my colleagues that were in the military, and we have events at work, but of course I'll talk to people mostly remotely. I'll be using, I'll call them and talk to them, but not really meet with them anymore, and not have that pint of beer with my colleagues in the military. So that will be a little bit different, but I think there won't be any, I believe, no meetings and parades and things like that, so which is sad to see, but unfortunately that's the reality of life today.
I will think privately about the sacrifices. My father was one of 5 brothers overseas during World War II, and I quietly remember. I look at his picture, and we can quietly remember it, and we should do it all year, not just one day of the year.
It would definitely change it in a way that I can't really go out and remember along with the other people, but nonetheless it wouldn't change the value that it has amongst the Canadians. It's still like a personal feeling that you can share virtually as well, even though it's not the best thing, but it's definitely something to think about.
How about you?
Sadly, maybe people are going to start avoiding crowds like I am, and so many people will too. So like my friend said, it'll probably be better if it was virtually for people to watch and still be able to participate in the Remembrance Day activities.
I had to join the Facebook group for my Legion that's actually in Point St. Charles, Montreal, and I'll be buying the poppies. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do the trade-off here to pick one up, but I'm doing it online as opposed to going through the subway system and picking one up.
Sure. And how about you? How's it going to influence how you mark Remembrance Day?
It's not, because I usually watch the televised version at a national level, so I'm going to keep with that tradition.
I think so. I mean, usually on an average day, you're with lots of group of people, and there's a collectiveness together of having that moment of silence and feeling the palpation of a loud room come to quiet. Whereas now, with everyone socially distanced and separated, at home, maybe that power of that moment won't have that same effect. And so I think it will be changed because of that. But I think we also have the opportunity to, because now most people are working from home, to have even a larger celebration collectively together. And I think I haven't seen anything, been broadcasted about that or anything out there, but I think that could, be a positive for how we remember it.